This is Letter to Sons. I'm Doug Keating. I'm recording a short series of videos describing my experience attending Premier League games. Today, episode 2, Manchester City win the trophy. If you missed episode 1, I recommend watching it. I talked about going to my first Premier League match, Tottenham Hotspurs in London. It is an exciting time of year for all European football fans like me. Last weekend, the new Premier League season started. The question for you is, do you want to attend a game? If you do, this video is going to be perfect for you because I'm going to talk about another approach for attending a Premier League match as part of a bigger vacation. If you're an American-based fan like me, attending a Premier League game can seem like a daunting challenge. The biggest part of the challenge, of course, is getting across the pond and back again. In this video, I'm going to describe another approach for seeing a Premier League match, and that is including it as part of your European vacation. This is a good approach for people that have at least a week in Europe. Go to a match as part of it. The one caveat or warning I will give is if you have children with you and they're young, not sure I would take them to a Premier League match. They're going to get exposed to English soccer culture, which can be a little bit rough and tumble, and the language is definitely going to be colorful. A quick reality check. Going to a Premier League game is not cheap for a US-based fan. You've got the flight to get over and back, your accommodations, as well as tickets to the game, which usually are not going to be cheap. The good news, if you include it as part of your European vacation, you're already flying over and need a place to stay. With this approach, I would recommend either going to the game the first weekend you were there or your last stop on your trip before you return to the States. Last year, my younger son Riley and I went to watch Manchester City play the final game of the season and win the Premier League trophy. Here you see a picture of us at the game with Manchester City fans celebrating on the field after the victory. A few things about this trip. It was a gift to Riley for graduating from college. He's a big soccer fan. It seemed like a no-brainer. And we got lucky as far as timing. I bought the tickets well in advance. It just happened to be the game that mattered the most, and we were there to watch Manchester City celebrate another Premier League title. Here you see a summary of the trip. It was May of 2024. The trip was 9 days total. The participants included my son Riley and me, and our goal was to have fun celebrating his graduation, experiencing a Premier League match, and exploring some parts of Europe he had not been to before. As far as locations, we started in Manchester, then Barcelona, Spain, and finished in Lisbon, Portugal. Really, really fun locations. You can see we stayed 2 days in Manchester, then flew down to Barcelona for 3, and flew over to Lisbon for the final 3 days. Here you see the schedule for the 2 days we spent in Manchester. It does take a while to get there. There are no direct flights from where I live in the States. So the first day we checked into the hotel and then took a tour walking all over Manchester. Day 2, Sunday, was all about going to the match, and then we executed a pub crawl. At my age, all that means is going to more than one pub. We enjoyed our 2 days in Manchester. Here are some best practices and lessons learned from the trip. For anybody who has not attended a Premier League match, they are awesome. Go if you can. Let's talk logistics. Flying, I believe, is the best way to get to Manchester from the States. We flew to London and then London to Manchester. You could take the train. I think it would be a really long first day. Regarding our tickets, I bought a hospitality package which included a meal, some drinks, and our seats. It worked well. Our seats were actually much better than I expected. Good news, we were able to walk home from the game due to the location of our hotel that was not too far away. There was a huge celebration after the game. It was kind of a mess getting out of the stadium, so I'm glad we could just walk back to our hotel. Some more good news about Manchester. It is well connected to Europe when it comes to flights. They have a good airport that offers budget airlines. We flew direct from Manchester to Barcelona for not a lot of money. Some lessons learned in case you've never been to Manchester. It is not London. It's kind of a rough and tumble town. I would not mistake it for the majestic capital of the UK. We stayed 2 nights, which was just about right, although a little bit rushed since the first day included a fair amount of travel. Our tickets through the hospitality, they were a little bit pricey, although I felt worth it for what we got. On the downside, if you go to the Etihad Stadium, it is a beautiful facility. However, they do not serve English beer. They've got a Japanese beer sponsor. That's all they serve. Not a fan. I'd much prefer a cask ale. And finally, if you happen to be lucky enough to be in the stadium when the home team wins and gets ready to raise the trophy, you have to decide whether to run onto the pitch or not. In this case, they warned saying, don't do it. Everybody did. Riley wanted to, and I said, nah, I just don't want to see what a Manchester prison cell looks like. I was wrong, and at retrospect, I would definitely run onto the pitch if a trophy is involved. Let me wrap up this video by saying, wow, what an experience being in the stadium when Manchester City won the Premier League and raised the trophy. Lifelong memories for sure. In this video, I shared an approach which is include a Premier League match as part of your European vacation. You won't regret it, and I can't wait to get back to see my next game.